Good evening, I call Gary. Someone just asked me if I was a cop. I don't know what that was all about, but been here since 2 o'clock, and that's the first time someone said, "Are you a cop?" I've been truly blessed today. My spirit has been moved. Hopefully everyone feels the same way. And only through God's mercy and His grace that I had the opportunity to participate here today at Dino Day. Usually I'm a person of a creature of habit that hates change. Our area is coming out with some different activities, and this was one of them. And it was an unbelievable day today. Unbelievable day. My clean date is January 4th, 1987. So if you struggled in math like I did, that's 24 years clean. In the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous, I truly believe I've been chosen today by my God to be put on this earth to help carry this message. My topic is more will be revealed. Today still holds true that Narcotics Anonymous still is the most important thing I do in my life today. I have a job, married, all the stuff people talked about that you accumulate after you've been here for a while. I got a son at a D2 school that has good grades. He has the gift to throw the baseball. More revealed today. He called, texted me today, because that's what teenagers do today. They text their parents that he got his fourth save today at school. All good stuff. No trouble. Thank God every single day. Especially with the insanity that you listen to when you watch on TV today with what's going on in the world with children. My son was raised in Narcotics Anonymous. I'm married, and my wife's been clean 25 years. She worked today. She's unable to be here today, but like most people shared about here today, their children being raised in Narcotics Anonymous. But I've been truly blessed, believe me. I came here, and I said this 100 times in my story. I was the one that wanted to legalize marijuana and save the bales, right? That was me. Put it on the back of your car, and let's legalize, and off we went. That was me. And it talks about in more will be revealed. And we hear about today that love can be a flow of energy from one person to another. As we do this, we undergo a vital spiritual experience, and we are changed. On a practical level, changes occur because what's appropriate to one phase of recovery may not be for another. We can consistently let go of what has served its purpose and let God guide us through that current phase with works for the here and now. And most of that time, and we talked about it today, someone mentioned about Arsenio going, If I give my chance to do the it's usually, is it the right thing to do? And most of the time, 100 times out of 100 times, it's the right thing to do. As we become more God-reliant and gain more self-respect, we realize we don't need to feel superior or inferior to anyone. Our real value is being ourselves. Our egos, once so large and dominant, now take a back seat because we are in harmony with a loving God. We find that we lead richer, happier, much fulfiller lives, and we lose self-will. I wanted to read the whole more will be revealed when I got up here. One of the things it talks about: cherish, to care, to tenderly guard and treasure, to cling to harbor as a principle. I'm not the same person I brought in here over 26 and a half years ago. I stayed clean for a year and a half. I came back in. I woke up 500 feet from my house against a tree. I said to my God, if you get me out of this one, I will commit my life to Narcotics Anonymous. I didn't get arrested. And guess what? 24 years later, I'm still here because I feel I owe my allegiance to my God for giving me that opportunity that night where I should have been arrested for driving under, which I didn't. And I'm here today because of that deal. You may think I'm crazy, but for that deal I made that night, I'm here. Prior to that, I used to come here and people would be clean for 6, 7, 8 months, and they'd say, we got to go somewhere else because there was no recovery in NA. This was back in 85. There was no recovery in NA. After a while, I kept saying to myself, but if people with time here, back in the day, if you had 6 months, you had a lot of time back in 85. But if you don't stay here and participate and make this to what it is today, and if you are participating in Narcotics Anonymous today, and you see what NA is doing in this culture and in this world, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And to be participant of that, to help carry the message to the addict who still suffers, that he or she that should come here today have that same opportunity that I have had, or the most of the dinosaurs that spoke today at 20 years clean, that should be given that same opportunity for that new person that's here. And it starts with, and we heard it today, don't use no matter what. Now, I don't know when that obsession lost or where it went. When I was using, I was a jock during the day and I was a deadhead at night. I loved being in the gym, and the reason why I was in the gym, I was molested as a young child. I was on steroids, powerlifting, the whole 9 yards. So I wanted to build this blueprint of myself to protect this shield of myself that was filled with fear, because something that was taken out of my heart and soul at 10 years old. Yeah. And for a lot of years thereafter, 14 to be exact, there was a lot of fun in the beginning. It became a lot of pain. And what I realized when I got to Narcotics Anonymous is that my life, if my main character of my defect is fear. Yeah. I'm 50 years old, been clean 24 years. I'm third in charge of a transportation fleet. But you know us, right? Driver, lead driver, supervisor, lead supervisor, routing manager. Now I'm a onboard computer Zeta person. I came here, I drove a truck. Now I'm an onboard computer Zeta person. But the point I'm trying to make is, I go to do something, I do it, and we are the most wonderful people in the world, and we excel at anything that we do. So if you sit here today and you're thinking of dreaming about doing something, do it. You have the support here to do it. Do it. Believe in yourself, because you can do it. I did it. Except I got bored doing what I do, and I kept going, because that's my personality. And now I'm in charge of a fleet that, because I've come here, and I know how to talk and speak with people on a professional level, but it's really an NA lingo, but it's a professional level at work. I've had the opportunity that you get the respect from people, you give the respect, and I'm in my job today because I know how to talk to people. That's the bottom line. It's been gifted. It's offered a lot of opportunities in my life, putting our son through school, blah, blah, blah. But it's only because my wife and I have been able to stay clean and be participants of a fellowship that has, and everyone said it today, I don't know why I got here. I had a chance to either go to jail or I had a chance to go to treatment. Okay, let me turn around. I went to treatment. Jail, I want to go to jail for. I went to treatment, right? And that lady that's still here today, when I was walking in treatment, is Bean's wife, is Sandy. She was leaving the treatment facility that I was going into, and all she said was, hey, check out that NA meeting on Wednesday night. When I came here many years ago, I became part of my first sponsor, who was Tattoo Jack. He's no longer here today. You don't hear it too much today. People would say, jump in my back pocket. My sponsor, you do this, you do this. We're going here. You didn't say anything. You just did what they told you to do. Before you know it, I was riding motorcycles. I was flying colors in Winston, North Carolina. And we get stopped by the disciples, and we're in recovery now because we're flying these colors. And I'm saying, Jack, what the hell did I get myself into? I just wanted to come here because I don't want to use. But for a long time thereafter, I hung with this guy because I wanted to be part of. I wanted to feel like I belonged. I was desperate to have people in my life. Again, something was taken out of my soul at 10 years old. And I was trying to replace it with so many things along the way. Most of my life I've been up and down with the whole weight thing. January 2nd, I made a commitment with my wife that we have surrendered to red meat. We eat chicken, fish, fruits, vegetables, protein shakes. I take supplements because we're trying to take care of our body today. And I don't know how much weight I lost. I don't even jump on the scale anymore and play that whole game with yourself. But I'm trying to make a difference on how I feel and how I want to look today. One of the things about being more be revealed is, even though I'm a very energetic and a working alcohol, I don't know what word I want to use, person, by nature I'm real lazy. Really. I'll be the first one. I'll stay here till 2 o'clock tonight. We'll pick everything up. I've been since 8:30 this morning carrying this message, nerd convention meeting, blah, 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 and do it all day. But by nature, I'm a lazy person. By nature, when I was doing steroids, and now who I am today, is I'm still very, very fearful person, even though I have a God in my life today. I get very scared at times of opportunities and taking risks and vulnerability in my life because I always second guess what I'm doing in my life. Because I listen to a blueprint of information that I was raised with, that when I come to terms with being in recovery, it's a lot of misinformation. And I needed to be reprogrammed through sponsorship, through prayer, through sponsoring people, through being a participant of being of service, to change how I think. Because most of the time, addiction for me is just a negative outlook on life. Obsessive, compulsive personality filled with fear, doubt, and insecurity. Remember the Zest commercial? They'd be in the shower singing to go to work. I get up, and it's just totally opposite. Who the fuck wants to go to work? But today, I'm employable today. And again, that paragraph where it talks about how my priorities of what I do back in 85 to what I do today are totally different. Today about praying. Today about kissing men that are in my life. Today about kissing and hugging sponsees that are in my life. Because of the spirit and the passion that I have to give something freely that was given to me that I try to give to the guys that I sponsor today. And all they really want to do is have someone listen to them. And all they really want is guidance and direction. And all they really want is to hear what they don't want to hear when they don't want to hear it. But there's two things we're doing here. Either we're living a life about recovery or we're living a life about bullshit. If you want to live a life about this bullshit, the spirit never gets enlightened. The true meaning of the essence of recovery never is there within inside myself. Because I'm always trying to chase the next chase to counteract of what I'm trying to do within myself. But if I'm living a spiritual life and I'm living this way, and I'm doing the right thing as it talks about in that paragraph, doing the next right thing, what's the next thing? What's the right thing to do? Live in fear and act out in fear? And believe me, in my recovery, I've done the A to Z to substitute to try to keep running away from Gary. And again, it's still running away from that 10-year-old boy that something was taken out when he grew up. What I had to do was fill myself with step work and fill myself with sponsorship and fill myself with service and talk in a room today filled with people that it doesn't matter. This is my story. This is what happened to me. Still today, I'll be at the gym and I'll be in the jacuzzi and I share this all the time. Someone may touch me and I say, oh, fuck, they're coming on to me. But that's what my blueprint was for a boy at 10 years old. I've had to come to overfear that by having more be revealed. And only through that, it's because I've been able to talk about it. And one of the things I always share with the men that are in my life, there's two things that work in sponsorship before anything can work in sponsorship. One is trust. And the second is honesty. You got to be able to trust somebody to share the secrets, or my secrets that I had to share with someone that I could trust. And that's a process. And if someone has violated that to you, that you're sitting in this room tonight, I can't say why they did that, but I can say you got to dust yourself off and get somebody else. Yeah. It's a lonely place to be. I've been there. It's a lonely place to be when you try to walk this road by yourself. I need people in my life. I need the we that we heard about talking today of Narcotics Anonymous here. We heard about today, we heard about the Coleys that were here when I got here, the Lorraine Kays, the Violation Ricks. People that, like Betty said, touched my spirit when I got here, Rose. People that unconditionally gave of their body, of their service, of their love, of their home. Just because we wanted to stay clean. And I say the same thing to the guys I sponsor today. I take them, I pay them, do whatever I got to do, and I say, I don't want your money, I don't want anything. When you get an opportunity in your life, do it to somebody else that you sponsor. That's how it all works. Us helping each other. You heard Betty today talking about her sponsee. Those people over in where Annie was. Right there, picked up Annie and took her to a meeting. That's what NA's about. That's what's more will be revealed. And one of the things I still think when that all gets taken away, like what was going to be taken away once I was doing step work? What was going to be taken away when all the fear was going to be lifted? What was going to be taken away when I was just going to be me? But the me I was fearful of is the me that I ran from all my life. That's what I was fearful of. When I come to find out after being here for a while that Gary's okay today. Gary's a good person today. Gary has a lot to offer today. And that's why my biggest attribute, I think, is I have this gift about helping people. I understand why I'm here today. And because I do this today, everything out there, and we've heard it all day today, talk about, it just all falls into place. Because my priorities are in order today. It's not about living a life of bullshit and lying and cheating and stealing and scamming and trying to get away and me and me and me and me and all about me today. It's about the selfless service I can do for others today. And as selfless as that becomes, the more powerful I come within my spirit, within myself. What was drama and insanity that I thought was a way of life most of my life, today is just the opposite of, I don't know, this is a late night for me. I don't know about anybody else at 50 years old or during the week, right? But, the staying up all night and all that stuff that used to go on there, that whole chasing. For me and being more would be revealed, I had to realize that after being married for 21 years, that this past year, my wife and I, we had to get into counseling together. Good thing. I had to realize that I had to make a commitment to go on medication for a year. That was for me, my experience. I had to make that commitment with my wife and with the counseling session that I was in. And all that is just for me to get some balance. They say, suffer from depression and mild bipolar. All right, so they say. But because I had to try some medication, I made a commitment to my marriage to do that. I feel like I'm on this keel. I'm not saying that if you are on that, you got to go. This is for me. This is for me. And if you're sitting there and you're like I was, fucking 24 years he's on fucking medication. Fucking Mr. N.A. My experience. This is my life. My life. Better be on medication than chasing something out there that was never real. And it's a substitute of a lot of things. And if you've been here for a while, you understand what it is when you're out there trying to chase a lot of things. I was chasing the 5-hour energy drinks every day. Those little fucking things you see on TV that are red, white, and fucking yellow, and they look like a nice... One in the morning, one at night. I could not go by a store. I had to have it every day. But I was living off that energy to counteract of what I was doing within my own self. Every year, Starbucks comes out with freaking those eggnog lattes. I am consumed from November to January. My sponsees are here in this room at $5 a piece, $15 a day, drinking those friggin' lattes because I'm trying to do something of chasing here of what I need to be taken care of here. And that needs to become with taking some type of a medication for me not to go chase that high that's out there. One of the things I've been gifted out through all that is I don't crash hardly at all like I used to. Used to do crazy shit, and before you know it, didn't want to leave the house. I don't have that today. I have that freedom today. And it's been a lot of peeling back the onion. what we used to hear people say. You know, getting to know what Gary Nunes is today. Getting to know what I believe for today. What I stand for today. What I'm trying to practice and show my sponsees to follow the same way what the sponsorship family stands for today. It's about the spiritual principles that we hear all day about honesty, being open, and trust, and integrity, and loving each other, and having the ability, regardless of who we are, to be there for each other. And I know we are that because I'm a participant of that. That we are willing and most understanding of the most wonderful people in the world. But at times my self-hate and self-loathing doesn't believe that. But that's why I have my sponsor, and that's why I have people in my life of the we part of understanding them, coming to meetings still today. My home group meets tomorrow morning at Brockton Hospital. It's Legs and Eggs group. I've been a participant and one of the, tap myself on the back, I'm one of the founders. That it's been 16 years. We'll be celebrating at the end of this month. Now, if you're sitting back there thinking Legs and Eggs, strip joint, Providence, nothing to do with that at all. It's about the leg work with the steps and the eggs about going out for breakfast. We've tried numerous times in Group Conscience to change the name, but the name has never been changed because Group Conscience wants it to be what it wants it to be. Monday night, I go to the Monday Night Message Group. That's in Mansfield, Mass. And Tuesday... Mansfield, Mass? Oh, the meeting tomorrow, 10 to 11:30. It's right over here at Brockton Hospital, the assembly room. And then Tuesday night, I go to the Boys to Men. And I don't go because I have to go today. I go because I choose to go today. I choose to go and listen to how people live life today without copping out on a minor mood altering chemical. You know, we heard people talk about today, I'm part of the No Matter What Club. And that means regardless what comes down my life today. I know tonight, with 2 hours left in the day, I will not get high today. Maybe I'll get high tomorrow, but for today, I'm not getting high today. Because I stand for something today, and what that is Narcotics Anonymous. And take it from a guy that wanted to legalize marijuana, man. Hang with the Grateful Dead. You know, back in the day. Today is just the opposite, as that paragraph talks about. What I thought I wanted to be was only an image of a misconception of what my reality was going to be when I got here today. And that's been a process. But you got to be here and stay here long enough and think about the people that aren't here today. How many people, by raising their hand, know somebody that's gone back out and hasn't made it back? You know, take a look around in the room. Because everyone thinks they're still going to come back after their next time. And maybe it's my ego that says, I don't want my 21-year-old to see his father die at an animalistic level because of the disease of addiction, because I'm going to overdose. I don't want my kid to see that. I'm better than that today. And I tell my kid that. You're better than a joint today. You're better than a bag of dope today. I don't care what goes on in your life. You're better than all that shit. But you got to make good decisions for yourself. I got to make good decisions for myself. And the decisions I make for myself today is based on my spirit with my relationship that I have with the God of my understanding. And only through His grace and mercy, my actions show how I live today. And I really like to think that I live and stand for something today. And that's about, the fellowship and the program of Narcotics Anonymous. You want to come and you want to talk bullshit? Talk bullshit. You want to talk to me about recovery? Same thing at work. You want help? I'm there to help. It's helping at work. You come here, we help. We help about staying clean. We're still human beings, but look what we do to each other. What's been pretty cool about going on in the news, as sad as it is, in spite of religion and in spite of politics, look how the countries have come together to try to help and embrace human beings that have nothing because of what's going on in the news. But yet, we get the whole world back on track. We're back to the same bullshit about politics and religion, and everybody goes their own way. The same thing when we come in here from all the walks of life that we've come from. More was revealed to me that regardless of who we are or what color our skin is, and you heard Sean talk about it so graciously today, that we are the most wonderful people. But look what we do to each other. I'm not part of that group and do not want to participate in that group today. I do not want to do that to another human being today. But look what we do. And it bothers me sometimes, because we all should have the same opportunity that was given to each and every one of us. The opportunity to be day at a time clean for 23 years. To be able to have this opportunity, you heard people today, have a mortgage, be able to take a shower, be able to pay bills, electricity, put your kid through school. I didn't think we could put him through our first payment, and we're in his junior year. I don't even know how that all happened, but it happened. All I know, at the end of November and the beginning of April, there's two things that come in the mail. Either you can pay for your kid's school, or your kid ain't going to go to school. But we're into our third year of paying that. It's because doing the right thing. And because how I was raised, I just want my kids to be better than how I was. Don't get it twisted. You're talking about your daughters, and we heard other people talking about it today. My kid's 21 in school. Yeah, he's got a gift to throw a baseball, but he's never worked a day in his life. Doesn't know what it's like to work hard. Everything's handed to him for his potential of what he thinks he's going to get in criminal justice someday. I don't know. But I know God has that plan if he wants to keep doing the right thing. But he knows that he knows his mother and father are different people than where we were when we first got here. I tell my kid I love him every day. He'll be with the kids on the baseball team. I'll still go hug him in junior in college, and I said, don't tell me you're ever too old to hug your father. He's about 6'3". Don't ever tell me you're too old, too tall for me to hug you. But I learned all that love here, all that unconditional love here. Being in more would be revealed. I truly believe that I'm going to be here as long as I'm going to be on this earth. I know people may say, he's projecting, he's this or that, but you know what? I know I'm going to be here. And you can take that to the bank. Remember that. Gary N. from the South Shore area. I'll still be here at 24 and 25 and 26 and 27 and 28, 29 and 30. And still be doing the same things that people with the dinosaurs that are here today, that still go to meetings, still ask for help, still have a sponsor, still go to meetings, still do step work, still help people, still involved in service, because it's a way of life today. It's not a chore. It's not something I have to do. It's because I participate in that today. And the benefit of that today is look what we have here today. Look what we have here today. People that are desperate for our love. People that are desperate for this thing called recovery. People that are desperate of living the life of an animal at a level when they come back in. And to be here with open arms. I don't want to live that way anymore. I want to live this way. And because of being able to walk through fear and trusting in people, I believe I can go down this road with you because you say I can. See, usually I have to see it and touch it and feel it to believe it. But today, because people share what they share, I can believe Sean because I know Sean. I know what he does in his life. I can believe my sponsor. I see what he does in his life. For the other people I don't know, I can only guess that you say what you say that you do, that you actually do it in your life. But when you actually see people doing what they're doing and seeing them change from a person or the sponsees that I have in my life that have changed to where they're at today, I know that's only God. I have a little saying. I presented one of my sponsees last night with a year. One of my goals was to soften his heart. And I took that responsibility on of trying to soften this guy's heart with doing step work and be able to have trust and honesty and not have that violated. So he was able to take a step and say, I can trust this guy, I can share him with something. And everything he's ever told me, it's never left my lips. And I hope people take sponsorship not lightly. That you take it with respect and you take it with responsibility and you take it with dignity. And take it with opportunity. And don't take it for a title. That your word is impeccable. If you say you're going to meet and be with somebody, then be there and show up and be there with somebody. We were sitting with someone last night. I know I'm running out of time. My sponsor this, my sponsor that, he's never here, but he always blows me off. I said, why do you have him for a sponsor? But then we spend so much time finding the right sponsor, and I've said this 100 times, if you pick a complete fool, they can't hardly fuck up your life any more than you already have. But we spend so much time worrying about, I got to find the right sponsor. Find somebody who's living this way. Find somebody who's not lying, cheating, or stealing. Find somebody that you want to live different the way you live it, and just watch what they do. Because Dot Talley, God rest her soul, mentioned today, she said, back in the day, we can teach a parakeet to sit up here and do this talk. Because when we leave here, how are you living? And as fearful as I was, and I still can be today, because life seems so grand, and life seems so big sometimes at 50 years old, and how I am emotionally, I really truly believe that it's still okay to be me today. I always thought it was somebody with the drugs. I always thought it was someone with a needle in my ass with steroids. Today it's just okay to be me, because I've been filled with God's grace and love to give that to other people today. Just want to close with the last paragraph. We have found that the way to remain productive, responsible member of society is to put our recovery first. NA can survive without us. But God, we cannot survive without NA. Thanks for allowing me to share.